Okay, welcome back. This is all going to make a little bit better sense as we read a little further here in the next few passages, but I would still like to clarify a little more information here. We've certainly established that we have two versions of Babylon. One, which is going to be the literal, physical, material manifestation of their philosophy, their ideas, and their system. And that system is based on capitalism. It's based on greed. And what more better of a symbol than New York City of those principles? Okay? And New York City, of course, is even called the Big Apple. Very interesting. So we have the symbolic physical manifestation of that material corruption that they originally offered the world through this symbol, the apple, which is making that connection here. And then we have these guys, which are this Babylon here, but they're the ones that are the mystery behind the scenes that nobody sees. Now it's interesting to note that there is the beginning here with the apple, which is the Genesis, and it's the beginning of them trying to move you from this first bite all the way to this point of total domination of your physical, and at the same time, total domination of your spiritual, which they have hidden from you so well. So there's another few points of interest that would go with this. And of course, we have the apple represents the fall of man through the first trade, i.e. the first commerce. And of course, we're talking commercial Babylon. This represents New York is commercialism at its best. So then, serpent trades knowledge of good and evil for man's innocence. And this is that symbol that represents that knowledge of good and evil, which New York is choosing to symbolize as the Big Apple, further solidifying this deal here for what we've got. The next thing to note would be at least the Statue of Liberty represents a light bearer, which is known as a Lucifer, which is telling you who is really in control of this situation here. And it does fulfill in many other symbolic senses. All right, now let's answer a question here. All right? The question would be, through this statement, in the beginning they seek man's downfall. Why? Why do they seek our downfall? Why is the serpent originally offering this apple? Look at it this way. God gave man dominion over the earth, which means control over the material. When the apple, meaning the corruption that was given by the serpent, that knowledge of good and evil, is taken by men, it deludes man over the ages into giving up his dominion, his control over the material, and now being enslaved to the material things, in which the serpent, symbolized as Lucifer, the illuminated one, is offering these material things, and that apple is that material thing that was offered symbolically. So they are trying to cause us to give up our dominion of the spiritual higher natures that we have that make this material matter subservient to us. And in so doing, when we become a slave to the material, remember, Lucifer is the prince of this world, okay? The devil is the prince of this world. He is in control and can manipulate the physical. So when they enslave you to the physical, in total to the material, they totally control you. And that is what this big, grand scheme has been that has played out through the ages to bring us to this point right here. I'll be back.